What is up, Nitro Maniacs? It's Kellen Nitro for Nitro Maniac TV's Wrestling Unlimited coming at you with another podcast. This time, we're talking about Nitro's take from the Backlash pay-per-view. Yes, the 2023 version of Backlash that took place last night, Saturday, May 6th, in San Juan, Puerto Rico. Yes, indeed. I can't do it alone. Here is Mr.TL. My
Puerto Rico. Anyways,
well, what a night! What a crowd, man! That crowd. Even watching it on the tape delay as I did, that crowd was loud and it looked like it was fun. Holy smokes!
I wanted to be there.
Yeah,
I turned up the volume everywhere while I was watching that, so I felt like I was immersed in it, and it worked.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, definitely. The show. Like the crowd, first of all, usually we wait until the end to talk about the ambience and the environments of these things and that stuff. But the crowd definitely in pay-per-view, their first in Puerto Rico, their first pay-per-view / premium live event in 20 years or so since the I think the New Year's Revolution pay-per-view back in the day with the cash in by Edge cashing in the Money in the Bank the first time I think was out there. So.
Yeah, that was like 2004 or 5?
5, I think. Yeah. New Year's Eve, 2005, I believe. Wow. So yeah, almost 20 years. So about 19 years or so. It's insane how that how long it is. And then they came back, and man, did they ever crush the live event atmosphere last night. But we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the matches on the card and that stuff. Feel free to get get interactive. There we go. I got hung up on interactive. Feel free to get interactive with us tonight in the chat boxes from wherever you're watching us, or hit us up on the Twitters. I'm Kellen Nitro. He is TM Loughton. Flashy's right here. Do a little change up of scenery here. That's mine.
Yeah.
That's his.
Yeah.
That's Frazier's. You can tell him the Leafs lost.
Damn.
And just inexplicably, just out of nowhere, all these random people are saying, the Leafs lost. So
the Leafs lost.
They lost. So.
I'm saying it.
Yeah.
How do you break the first round curse after 19 years only to get swept in the second round?
This is a matchup they wanted too.
Oh yeah, they were chanting.
We wanted Florida. Yeah.
Oh, and they got Florida up in the ass.
Mm-hmm. They did.
All right, wrestling things.
We're going to WWE Backlash 2023, May 6th, 2023, from San Juan, Puerto Rico, at the Coliseo de Puerto Rico. Drone shots. Lots of drone shots. The last two nights on SmackDown and tonight, they've started utilizing a drone. Starting outside the building and then flying in through the front doors and up and in, and using it for some of the far away shots, watching people run out and everything like that. It works at times. I like it for the most part because it's a different look.
I like it. It's going to get better. As you can see, they had a little, they weren't perfect.
Yeah.
With some of their shots, but it's just going to get better.
I like the fact that they are utilizing some new tech as well, and kind of giving a different look to what we see on the presentation and that stuff.
They usually have a crane to do some of those shots, hey?
It's a jib shot, yeah. But the drone seems like I don't think they even had a crane.
Maybe not
on this show. It didn't feel like anything was on a crane jib at all. I think they just cut to the drone.
Well, I figured the drone would be cheaper.
In the building.
I figure the drone would be cheaper. It's just not as reliable, which
very
is
much
the trade-off. But
yeah,
if you do have it done right. Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
A drone on its battery alone, I don't think lasts 3 hours. So you'd have to, have 2 drones maybe, or maybe have use it for a bit and then throw it into the plug-in during a match or something like that, and then throw it back.
Yeah, they're not going to use it all the time.
No, exactly. But I thought it really made a kind of an impact 2 times during the night. The first time we just talked about here with the opening, and then we'll talk about the drone shot as it made an impact later on in the card. But
let's get it started.
We open things up with the Raw Women's title, and this was Bianca Belair taking on Io Sky with Damage Control. And the runtime for this thing was 18 minutes even. 18 minutes even with the finish being attempted damage control distraction with Bailey in the ring, distracting the ref, and Dakota Kai hitting Bianca Belair with a kick. But that sets up Io for the moonsault. She goes for it, misses, and Belair lands the KOD for the 1-2 free count. And is there a ref developing now with damage control? It seems like it is.
You missed a little detail.
Sure.
The detail being that when Io goes up for the moonsault, she stays up too long in the top rope because the referee's making eye contact with Bailey.
Yeah.
Bailey's holding Bianca's braid, pulling it outside where
That's
she is. Right.
Distraction, yes. Yeah.
Right, because she's trying to hold her in place for the moonsault. The referee's like, hey, let go of her hair. Get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
So by the time she lets go, Io's been up there for like 10 seconds. So by the time she goes for the moonsault, she misses. Right. KOD. Bianca wins. Bianca was facing it tonight, man. The crowd was against her, and not so much they were against her. They were all in on Io.
They wanted a title change. They wanted to see that title change, I think.
I don't know what it was, but as soon as when Bianca came out, they didn't quite boo her. They were like, okay, yay, first person out. Let's get this underway. Go ahead and shout out the Undertaker.
Ooh, Undertaker!
Oh, yeah!
On the screen is the Nitromaniac TV Undertaker with all your results from last night's Backlash 2023, a pay-per-view. Continue, please.
So, yeah, Bianca comes out, good ovation when she comes out, but as soon as Io Sky comes out in that bass line, that boom, 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 I was like, oh, snap, it's on now.
Yeah.
And the crowd was completely into Io. They were chanting for her. They were booing Bianca. This is similar to, and they say it all over Twitter, they're joking, not quite as dramatic, but it was similar to when, John Cena went into One Night Stand 2005 against RVD, and they booed John Cena out of the building, even though he was supposed to be a good guy at the time.
Yeah.
And they cheered RVD like crazy. This had a similar-ish kind of thing to it.
I felt the same way. It was very almost akin to like the crowd in Montreal. The crowd in Montreal sometimes will turn, and if there's a babyface that's coming into the match, they'll cheer for the heel as well.
But this was a lot more him. Sometimes Montreal does it to be dicks. Sometimes they do it just because
I got that San Juan was more of a sincere, this is our genuine reaction. Yes.
Yeah.
If that's what you're getting at. Yeah.
Exactly. They are genuine to what they like and what they don't like. And for some reason they were all in on Io.
Yeah. They were.
They put in a hell of a match.
Yep. They basically were. Yeah, it's a great opener. Like, I mean, I have written down that this is Io's best match since getting called up.
Funny enough, didn't we actually saw Io versus Bianca in
NXT?
No, at Raw, didn't we? When Raw came here to Edmonton.
Yes. Yeah, that was on the undercard that night. That was an impromptu match after the opening segment because they had that whole damage control versus
Bliss and Asuka.
Yeah, Asuka, Bliss, and Bianca, basically.
Yeah, and then was it Bianca that took on Io?
I believe so.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
that was the opening match of Raw.
Well, then this match was miles above better than what we saw live, obviously.
But I'm saying what we saw live, it was like a good precursor to this, to be like, okay, they can put on a 20-minute match and people will love it. And that's what happened back when we saw it live in back summertime, whatever that was. And then now watching
last summer, yes.
Yeah, actually. And then now watching it on pay-per-view, I'm like, they opened the show. They tore the house down.
They did.
And Bianca got her ovation at the end of the match, and she earned it. The crowd made her earn it, and she earned it.
That is a very knowledgeable wrestling crowd. You don't hear a lot nowadays about the Puerto Rican wrestling crowd, but that scene is legendary, and it deserves respect.
Absolutely.
And I think they paid homage to it pretty well last night. Like you said, number one, fun environment. Number two, the crowd made the wrestlers work for every single response, which is good. That's what a crowd should do.
They made them work for it, but also it's like when they gave it up, holy shit, did they give it up? There was no quiet moments in this thing. Through the night, I've never seen a lit crowd like this.
Absolutely. Quick plug here. You've got a little less than about 10 minutes left to go to my Twitter right now at Kellen Nitro and put your vote in for our match of the night poll. And we have 4 selections for our finalists for match of the night. We need to get your choice. You are the viewer. We need your say on match of the night. So go vote right now. You got 9 minutes left. Go do it.
If you don't pick, and I'm just going to throw it out there, if you don't pick Bunny versus Priest, you damn wrong.
Oh,
you damn wrong.
TL wants to smoke.
Of course I want to smoke.
He wants to smoke.
I fit in with them Puerto Ricans because I'm honest like that too.
We go to our next contest on the pay-per-view, and it was quite the contest. The Colossus Omos taking on Seth freaking Rollins, and that thing went 10 minutes and 30 seconds for a runtime, with Seth Rollins defeating Omos, I should say, tonight. Omos tonight via pinfall. The finish for this thing was, early in the match, they teased it. Rollins goes for the stomp, and Omos is just too big, so he just puts his strength and stops it. I think that's a first. I've seen people roll out of the way for the stomp. I've never seen somebody Seth actually land it, and then
somebody did it once. It was either Brock or Strowman or something.
Oh, probably Brock.
Maybe. But I've seen one person do it before, but it's been a long time, or maybe it's just out of memory. But now seeing Omos do it, I'm like, oh shit, that's crazy.
Yeah.
It might have been Lashley.
Yeah, come to think of it, I think you're right. That might have been last year too. Yeah.
Yeah, where you go for the stomp and then he just stays on all fours so his neck won't go down.
It would make sense because Lashley was a heel, and who was Lashley's manager last year? MVP. So MVP would have told Omos how to counter the stomp.
Yeah, just stay on all fours and don't fall.
Yeah.
So what Seth does is go to the top rope and give him a super curb stomp.
Yes. Super curb stomp for the 1-2 free count, which popped the crowd royally. Well, the crowd was jacked for these guys as well, because they were singing Seth's song, and they did the thing off the beginning of the match where Seth was just soaking it in, and he soaked it in too long, and just almost comes in with a big foot across the back of the head.
It was a great visual, because the lights turn off except for one spotlight over top of Seth Rollins while he's just basking in the
doing his Jesus pose, I
don't like that. But them just singing in the background, they get 2 bars in while he's just soaking it in the spotlight, and all of a sudden, boom! Almost just clocked.
Just out of nowhere.
And the match just starts right away.
Mm-hmm.
And good little match there. Good little exposure for Omos. Some good crowd noise there for Seth Rollins. They just love the song.
Yeah, I think you're correct. I think they really do just love the music.
And if anybody says, no, it's not the music, it's because of Seth Rollins, no, you couldn't just get any song over. Bullshit. Fandango got over with his song, just by his song, because he sucked.
And they utilize Rollins' music, I think, up here with the Oilers on beginnings of power plays and that stuff at the home rink.
Do they actually?
Just before they drop the puck. Yeah.
No.
You hear that, and the crowd goes, in certain sections, if they know what it is, right? So
that's weird. That's crazy.
These are from the same people that used to play Finn Balor's music on penalty kills too. So somebody's a wrestling fan that's a DJ up there. So
also a funny note, and this will be the last one before we move back to wrestling.
Sure.
Is that the Oilers' win song now is La Bamba. What was it right previous to that?
Right previous to La Bamba. I should know this too.
It was Sami Zayn's theme song.
Oh, it was. Yes, that's right.
Worlds apart. 2 seasons they played that theme song as we won games, and they changed it to La Bamba. Yeah, exactly. That's the one. All right, back to wrestling.
All right, back to wrestling and back to our next contest, which was for the SmackDown Women's Championship. This was a good one. This was Rhea Ripley versus Zelina Vega. And yes, we are starting into our graphics for the night too, because I couldn't find graphics for the first 2 matches. Surprisingly. It's weird. But anyway, here we go. This was the SmackDown Women's title, Rhea Ripley versus Zelina Vega. Zelina is dressed in the colors of Puerto Rico and gets a huge pop. And
dude,
she seemed overwhelmed by it, which was awesome. Good for her.
She looked like Mrs. Puerto Rico, like like something out of Marvel, man, like magic.
Yeah.
And she put her arms out, and her arms are attached to a giant sparkly flag of Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, is her real name something Trinidad?
Yeah, Thea Trinidad.
Thea Trinidad, that's right.
Yeah. Married to Malachi Black in AEW. FKA,
that's right.
Alistair Black.
In real life.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
But she is Puerto Rican heritage.
Mm-hmm.
And her family was there at ringside.
Mm-hmm.
Her coming out in that entrance, man, I got emotional because she got emotional.
Mm-hmm.
When they did the announcement where they do the dark ring with the 2 spotlights and they announce who's who.
Yeah.
And they announced Zelina Vega and the crowd went nuts and she was crying. I'm like, man, that's a moment.
But that's a great moment. Yeah, that's one of the moments of the year so far in wrestling, which is great. Is we've had WWE kind of core into its local flavor a little bit in the cities that they've been in this year. We had the huge ovation for Sami Zayn in Montreal earlier this year in February, and now this with Zelina Vega. You know, it's always great to get the quote hometown pop. It's next level when they go above and beyond to I guess associate that with the wrestler going forward into the match and so on and so forth. Are you like that?
Yeah, but the thing is to do it that well, that it comes across the screen, that you feel it, that you're like, she is Puerto Rican. This means so much to her. Her long career, getting to work in Puerto Rico for the first time in, I think, ever, actually.
Yeah.
To be in a title match in front of her family with this crowd that's completely behind her, all Puerto Rican, you know, doing the chants in Spanish and everything else, like everything stacked on top of each other, and the emotion comes right full circle in front of you, presented like that. It works perfectly. Nothing has happened yet within the ring, but the story is being told right there.
That's right.
I'm like, it's perfect, and it made you feel it.
Yeah. It's a great feeling for sure, you know, because it rewards the viewer too.
Yeah, absolutely.
It rewards the fan, rewards the viewer. You know, you know, for investing the time and effort, and it doesn't insult the viewer, much like we've talked about in the past with certain matches.
Exactly.
Yep.
But the match actually goes on, and in the end, go ahead.
Yeah, Riptide and 1, 2, 3, though. Rhea retains, and the crowd boos Rhea a little bit because they wanted to see their hometown girl get the dub.
Obviously.
She didn't get the dub, but post-match, massive standing ovation for Zelina Vega. Well-deserved. I have written down probably her best match since coming back to the company.
Oh, easily.
I can't think of anything else that has stood out since she got rehired back. It might be the best match of her 2 WWE runs.
Probably.
Because
easily her best moment. Like, even though she won Queen of the Ring that one time with still, this is way bigger.
Yeah.
This is like her losing in a main event, not a main event, in a championship match was way more valuable than Queen of the Ring.
Well, it elevates her. Now it's like, okay, she's a credible contender. And so now go back to SmackDown and, you know, she can be a credible contender for the women's title on SmackDown going forward.
Yeah, and the thing is, she can work. She is actually a really good wrestler. Holy crap, can she sell?
Yes. Yeah.
Like, amazing.
Yeah. She's
so
really
talented.
Good.
She is undersized, and it really showed in this match, and that works in it.
Yeah. But they've had success with undersized wrestlers in the women's division before. Case in point, your wifey, Sasha Banks.
But she's skilled. Like, she's crazy skilled, though.
I know she's crazy skilled. Alexa Bliss is another one, though. Completely undersized and had some success. So
this is where I'm going to get some smoke. But Alexa Bliss and Liv Morgan, they're very small and undersized, and they get their push because they're very pretty. Sorry, they're not as good as workers as a lot of the other girls in that division, but they got their push for the way they look.
Well, that's fair. That's your opinion. It is what it is. So
it is what it is.
Yeah. It is what it is. But yeah, Zelina, and with the LWO thing and the feud now with LWO and Judgment Day, which I think is probably we're looking at a War Games match somewhere down the line with them. Maybe this is just a long-term story that they're going to tell going up to Survivor Series this year. Who knows?
I love that storyline is picking up steam, because at first it's just kind of like, how the hell can this be anything? LWO is so little and whatever, and the Judgment Day has like champions in it.
Yep.
So how is this ever going to be a rivalry? Now it's picking up steam.
It's picking up steam because...
And it gets even more when we get further into the show.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Our next contest is one of the 2 main events that were advertised for this show. It is Bad Bunny, I should say, and Damian Priest. So we've got the ill-behaved rabbit versus the Archer of Infamy. And this thing was a very timely. Oh, actually, you know what? We jumped a match. Whoops.
Oh, we did too.
We did jump a match. Okay, rewind. Let's talk about this one just quickly here. The U.S. title triple threat with Lashley, Bronson Reed, and Austin Theory. That one ran 6 minutes, 50 seconds. I just have written down Fury wins, lol, which I used to do with Cena all the time. Cena wins, lol. So that's it. You knew Fury going in was going to retain the U.S. title. This was just a matter of, okay, Fury's going to SmackDown. The other 2 guys are going to Raw.
Now, there's only a couple of things I picked up in this match. One, the only face in this match was Bobby Lashley, and he didn't get the pop.
No.
Like, it's not like the crowd was quiet. They just kind of gave him a polite...
just like...
They were lukewarm to him. They weren't cold to him, but they were just kind of lukewarm. And so he didn't get the pop that he needed. And Bronson Reed, he earned pops from the crowd as the match went on.
He did.
And Austin Theory still got booed, and also he got a little bit of X-Pac heat in this match. He did. Yeah. It was kind of like, this is a break.
I was thinking that too, and thinking about it earlier today with Theory is it's very much a situation where he's at the danger point of getting X-Pac heat. Unless something drastic changes here going forward, because I did not care about this match 1 minute.
No, not at all.
This. I was just like, oh, okay. So this is something.
It started
and then looking where it is on the card, between this and the women's SmackDown Women's Championship match with Ripley and Selena, and the match prior to this one was Rollins and Omos. So I mean, that was the this was the letdown after 2 high spots on the evening, right? So
yeah, exactly. And I don't know if WWE is going to look into this further than they should, to be like, okay, the heel in this match is not gaining much attention other than people going, ugh, him again.
Yeah. And
the face in this match is not getting the roar that he really should be getting. So, like, they're really building Bobby. They've built Bobby wrong.
They did.
Since he's ever come back to the company, they've built him wrong.
Yeah.
And it's really evident that people are kind of like, meh, Bobby. Yeah.
I mean, they mentioned in the match that and I had made a slight mistake there when we first opened this match, or this segment up about this match. Lashley and Theory are heading to SmackDown. Bronson Reed's heading back to Monday Night Raw. So I knew 2 were heading to SmackDown. 1 was going to Raw. I just had them mixed up with the names. But they mentioned that Lashley said he had one thing on his mind, that was Roman Reigns. So obviously they may be teeing up Lashley for a Universal title shot somewhere this summer. I don't think he's enough to build a big pay-per-view, like a main pay-per-view, like one of the big 4 type main events. But if you want to throw him in as like getting a title shot against Roman at Money in the Bank or something like that, I don't know. But you're going to Money in the Bank in the UK. Sheamus is still active on SmackDown, as well as we don't know what the contract status is with Drew McIntyre, and he ran Drew and Roman anyway last year in Wales. So I think he'd want a UK, superstar at least, or something like that, to challenge Roman there. If we follow the pattern this year. So, Where do they use Bobby? That's my question. Is where do you have him?
I don't know. He's the kind of guy that he can have the kind of run that Roman has.
Yeah,
and he could have done that with the Hurt Business, but they decided to fold that up and throw it away for no reason.
Yeah. So did the Hurt Business walk so that the Bloodline could run? Is that basically it?
In a way, actually, yeah.
Yeah,
I think so.
Because it seems like the Hurt Business was a test bed to see if something like that, would get over with today's crowd, and it kind of did. And so they're like, all right, well, let's charge it up and do it with Roman this time. So
that's interesting. Wow, we stumbled upon something there on our skipped match.
Common threads. There we go. Exactly. Okay, getting back into the lineage of the pay-per-view here. We'll go back to Damian Priest taking on Bad Bunny in a San Juan street fight.
Hell yeah.
To the tropes from our last live stream last night that I talked about with WWE, but always got to be a street fight on the pay-per-view, right? So, 25 minutes even. So they nailed the time marker for 25 minutes even. So much happening in this match. So many run-ins. Oh my God, the cameos.
First, we need to start off with Bad Bunny's entrance. Holy shit.
With the drone cam again right behind him in the hallway as he walks out, and then it flies right by him and kind of goes up into the crowd, goes away from him, and he's got the kendo stick and stuff. He looks so badass. It was unreal. And then he walks out a little bit, waves the crowd off. Just 1 second. Hang on. I forgot something. Hold up, and turn around, walk back, and went and grabbed the shopping cart full of plunder, a la New Jack from ECW. So,
but it wasn't just that; it was the atmosphere. The first notes hit of his song, which was Chambea, which came out in about 2017.
Okay,
Chambea,
good song.
And the crowd knows every lyric to that song,
which is insane.
So as soon as he walks out, because it has a really big build-up, we're just like ba, 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 ba. And so as soon as he walks out to that, the beat drops. There's like a shotgun sound, and then the beat drops, and the song starts. The crowd is lit. You have never heard an invasion like this ever.
They probably had to quiet the crowd a little bit for broadcast. That's how loud it was. It probably was deafening in there. So,
oh my God, I can imagine that building was rumbling.
Oh, I could only imagine. Exactly. Again, adds to the live event atmosphere of, that might be fun to go see.
Absolutely. Like, this is like one of the biggest streaming artists in the world.
Yeah.
Who's actually become one of the most famous people in the world.
Yeah.
Crossing over both Spanish, English, everything. Mm-hmm. And they've got him on a show wrestling in his home country.
Because he grew up a WWE fan.
Yeah.
He walked out on SmackDown the night before with a WWF racing jacket.
Yeah, and it was F, the one that they have to blur off.
Yeah. And I remember WWF racing because that was directly tied into drag racing, which is my other channel, which is what I do.
There you go.
Yep. That's the deal. So, I mean, that's, of course I'll remember that. Yeah. 1999 through 2000, 2001, WWF racing. They had Nitro funny cars with like The Rock and Stone Cold and Chris Jericho and the game Triple H and DX and everything on.
I was going to say, and they had a video game about that too.
They did. Yes.
And
WWF Crush Hour. Yes.
Right. So, I mean, Bad Bunny's got that jacket on SmackDown. He comes out. I mean, holy crap. I can't. I've watched it so many times, rewatching it from the pay-per-view itself and then seeing it on Twitter. And even as I'm scrolling Twitter, I'll still stop and watch that moment again. Just to see that crowd on their feet, every one of them. They made 18,000 people feel like a 60,000 football stadium.
It's going to be, and people might laugh at me for saying this, but it's going to be one of my match of the year candidates at the end of the year just because of the environment.
I'm not laughing.
It is just a great, it reminds me of like a one night stand environment or, like a really hot WrestleMania environment or something. Like, this is, to me, this kind of felt like watching Daniel Bryan in New Orleans, the two matches that he had, or as you said earlier, Cena and RVD in 06 at
06. Yeah. Now here's the thing. This is so much more than that because you can get a hometown pop. Sure. Yeah. But when you carry an entire nation on your back, It is so much different.
And we've seen that before in WWE. Bret the
Yes.
Hitman Hart, 1997.
Or more recently,
the Canadian,
Sami Zayn.
Yeah, the Canadian Stampede pay-per-view in 97. And of course, Sami Zayn were in 2023 in February here. Yeah.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, this was similar, and I think it even exceeded that.
So we can vibe with that, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. Now you get into the actual match, and you have to remember, Bad Bunny has had maybe 3 matches in a Royal Rumble.
Yes. Yeah.
And this guy is incredible.
Yeah.
He sells for real. Anytime that Damian Priest hits him, even if it's slight, he's going to sell it because he's not the wrestler. He's the entertainment kind of act. So it's like everything is going to be far more impactful when you get hit by a real wrestler.
Now, I'm going to hit you with a question.
Go ahead.
A comparison question, and then an opinion on something.
Go ahead.
So, who is the better worker out of the celebs they've brought in this year, Bad Bunny or Logan Paul?
Wow. Jeez. Holy.
And go ahead, folks who are watching too. Feel free to comment on this one too. That's my question to you.
That's a fantastic question because both of them hit it out of the park. Logan Paul is a true heel. He really understands it and gets it.
Yeah, he's a real life heel. Absolutely. Yeah.
I know because they're both entertainers and they're not full timers and they're not wrestlers and they have limited matches.
I think Bunny's persona lends him to be a real life babyface. Like I don't think you could turn him heel at all.
No, he's a real babyface, and Logan is a real heel. Oh man, Logan's more athletic.
Yeah,
but Bunny sells way better.
Yes.
Like if you can mix the two, you have like something out of this world.
You'd have something that you'd be throwing like tens of millions of dollars to sign to an exclusive WWE contract because like that person would make you like a ton of money.
But in a way, you're setting up, if you can get it right, you're setting up what could be an amazing, the great, like a super match between Logan and Bad Bunny.
That was going to be my question to you. Do you think over the next calendar year we see Logan versus Bad Bunny?
I don't know if it's a calendar year, just based on the schedules. These two have to work outside of wrestling.
Right.
I don't know where they could fit it in.
But you think it's happening somewhere down the line?
It should.
Yes.
It should happen.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough because both guys have to rely on real veteran wrestlers to get them through a match. Have them put against each other with no help would be very, very difficult.
Yeah. I'm actually going to just put that question that I posed to you right in the chat right now. So just give me a second here. We'll throw that out there right now is who do you think is the better worker?
And funny enough, I didn't answer your question. I was trying to sidestep it as much as I could.
Hey,
because
undecided is an answer. Undecided is an answer. Absolutely.
You know what? In all honesty, I will have to say Logan Paul is better. But given the right circumstance was last night.
Yeah.
Bad Bunny can bring it. He could bring it, and he could bring the crowd noise, and he'd bring attention. I mean, earlier in the week, on Monday, he was at the Met Gala.
Yes. Performing at the Met Gala.
Headlining at that Met Gala.
Met Gala, yeah.
And then by Saturday, he's in the pay-per-view in his home country wrestling a one-on-one match.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So feel free, folks. Yeah. It's unreal. It's feel free, folks, to answer the question. Also, shout out to Juggernaut097 who says, "What's up, guys? Oh, not a whole lot. We're just talking about Backlash from last night. So if you got thoughts on the show, if you've seen it or seen a little bit of it or seen all of it, feel free to post your comments in the thing." So, and and he's already answered our question. So he says Logan Paul, most definitely. So that's a vote for Logan Paul. There we go. So, and if you're undecided, much like TL, you can put down undecided as well. I will accept undecided as an answer here.
But if you really have to, if I have to answer it, I would also say Logan Paul.
Okay, cool.
Just because he is more athletic. He does do his spots are in the ring. That's where he makes you go ooh and ah is in the ring stuff.
Absolutely.
Bad Bunny brings it kind of outside the match. It's when it gets in the ring, you're just kind of like, okay, let's see what happens next.
Yeah. For
but
sure.
Logan, he goes for it when he gets in the ring. So what else you got on this match? There's a really big run-in that goes on here.
Yeah, well, it's run-in city. That's the next thing I wanted to talk to you about here is all the cameos in this match, all of the run-ins, just insane. So it starts off with the Judgment Day running in to support their guy.
And it's just Dominic and Finn.
It's just Dominic and Finn at this point. Yep. So they run in. They start beating down on Bunny. And then Rey Mysterio comes from the back. Starts running in to kind of try and even the odds a little bit, but he starts getting beat down as well. And then shortly thereafter, we hear the music of the returning Carlito, Caribbean Cool.
That may have been the biggest pop of the night.
Yep.
It just hears, like you hear the first little drum to, and the crowd went nuts. They went like if CM Punk came back. Like they went crazy for Carlito. Yeah, he comes out looking just the way he did when he left in like I don't know when, but
well, he's more jacked now. That's the thing. I think he's like in the best shape of his life or his career at this point.
Yeah, it's like it's like he hasn't aged since 2005. It's crazy.
No. Put him in a cryogenic chamber and just kind of unfond him, ready to go. You know, crazy hair and all, right?
That's how it feels.
Yeah.
18 years later, looks the same.
Huge pop, because he was the flag bearer for the Puerto Rican community during the Ruthless Aggression era and the end of it and into, the PG era, if it will, right? So
that is a second generation wrestler from Carly Colon.
Yep.
His dad,
exactly. Yep.
Biggest promoter in Puerto Rican history, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Absolutely. All of the accolades.
Oh, yeah.
And so, so they go in and there's some double teaming afoot there. And that's if it allows Ray to hit the West Coast pop on somebody. I can't remember who. It was Finn, right?
Not a West Coast pop.
Or not, sorry, 619.
He hit the 619, yeah. And then
I'm thinking West Coast pop from our stream from last night. That's what happened. But
no, he hit a 619. I want to say it was Dominic because didn't Carlito spit the apple in his face?
He did, yes. Yeah.
And that was coming off.
Now I remember. Yeah, for sure.
That's but it don't stop there.
No, because as Finn and Dominic try to leave the ringside area and escape down the aisleway, we hear the Los Boricuas music.
Hell
and one of the biggest pops of the night is afoot for Savio Vega.
Savio Vega, one of the original members.
On Savio Vega, TL.
One of the original members of the Nation of Domination.
That's right. The man who was Quang at one time in WWF. And not only was that, he reminded everybody the fact that, well, Quang was, a Savio Vega played character because he hit the Quang combo on Finn Balor in the aisleway.
Yeah, he did.
With the chop.
Was so sweet.
And the back kick.
I can't believe it. I can't believe he can still hit that back kick.
Which is insane, yes. Yeah.
I can't believe he can still do that.
Oh, he's probably icing the groin today. Yes, after that, I would think. But
oh my God.
Don't pull a muscle, Savio, please.
Oh, he did last night.
Awesome. Oh, he did. Yeah.
If I got to pull a muscle, it's going to be for this moment. And the crowd went nuts. And then all the LWO came out too. And they were wearing brand new LWO shirts that were red, white, and blue Puerto Rico instead of the red, white, and green of Mexico. And those shirts were everywhere in the crowd, if you noticed.
Yes.
Those Puerto Rican LWO shirts were crazy sellers. And I think they continue to be. Just having different different colors for LWO to represent. That's awesome.
Like we saw the two guys ringside that were wearing like the classic LWO shirts, and then for the show they had like the Puerto Rican flag on the LWO logo too, and that stuff. So it was good. Yeah, no, it was quite the contrast, and it allowed fans, to kind of. It's like having different sports team jerseys, I guess, where you have like the primary, and then you have the third, and then you got the retros and stuff like that, right? So,
but it goes to the point: representation matters. People care about this stuff, and to see it on TV or to see it wherever you're watching, it means a lot.
Exactly.
And so they fight off, and now we go back to this match that is actually still going on between Bunny and Damien.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. Yes, it goes back. Meanwhile, while that's going on, Priest goes for a kick, Buddy catches and goes for a figure 4.
Mm-hmm.
No submission there, but a huge pop from the crowd. Priest escapes but he ends up going into the chair, into the ringside corner, and Bad Bunny hits the sliced bread number 2, or numero dos, as Corey Graves called it last night, for only a 2 count. But that eventually all leads up to the Bunny Destroyer for the 1-2-3 count, and a huge pop from the crowd because their guy wins.
Yep.
Bad Bunny defeats Damian Priest in what was the run time again? About 25 minutes, I believe.
25 on the dot, you said.
25 right on the dot. Yes. 25 right on the dot. Great match. Post-match, Bunny and the LWO reunite in the ring, and they celebrate like we're talking with Carly, with Savio. We've got Savio rocking the LWO shirt too.
Mm-hmm.
We've got the mention. We've got Carly rocking the LWO shirt as well. So they are LWO and Rey Mysterio, yes,
who had like a shark mask.
Yeah, it's a tribute to somebody. I believe somebody in Puerto Rico had that style of mask on.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's not Invader. Oh, maybe it is Invader. Not Invader 2, who unfortunately allegedly killed Bruiser Brody. Oh. But the original Invader, I think that was his mask design. I'm not sure. So if somebody's watching and is more of a knowledgeable on the Puerto Rican scene and that stuff, let us know or something like that. But yeah, it was kind of an Invader-esque type thing because it didn't have any mouth hole on it. It had like almost like shark teeth on it or something.
That's what I was saying. It had like the shark teeth lips or whatever. I was like, oh, crazy.
Yeah, it was nuts for sure. Yeah, but everything, production-wise, everything during this just made it an amazing match, great spectacle, and
Roger Clemente. Oh,
yes,
home run.
Yes, damn right. Moving on, the next pay-per-view is the Night of Champions in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia on May 27th. And that's where they're going to crown the WWE World Heavyweight Champion, which is going to be the new world champion for Monday Night Raw, apparently.
Which I'm so confused about because it's like, wasn't the whole point of Roman having 2 belts the fact that he's the champion?
Yeah. Yeah.
So they just make him now a disputed champion?
Now they made him a disputed champion, and they've brought back the World Heavyweight title, kind of a hybrid of it's the big gold belt from WCW with a WWE logo slapped on the front of it.
Exactly. If I was Roman Reigns, I'd be pissed. I'm like, I'm carrying both titles, and you guys are just going to bring in another one because you can't take it off of me?
That's probably storyline. We're going to see that.
We better, because I would be so pissed if I was Roman Reigns.
Oh, guaranteed for sure. Absolutely.
Next match.
Next match is the Bloodline, the Usos and Solo Sikoa taking on Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and Matt Riddle.
I'm just going to jump in real quick.
Please do.
This match really lost my attention,
and
I really tuned out.
Yeah.
And so...
Same here.
Yeah. Okay, good.
It's a 22 minutes even match with the Bloodline defeating Matt Riddle, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn via pinfall. I think the message that they were trying to send to us here is that there's a ton of dissension spots between members of the Bloodline now.
Yeah, because it looks like Solo Sikoa wants to attack his brothers, mostly Jimmy. Is it Jimmy or Jay? Who's Mr. Overdramatic?
I think that's Jay.
Okay, yeah. So he looked like he was going to spike Jay in the neck at one point. So it's like, little spots of dissension here and there throughout the Bloodline. The 3 brothers wanting to go at it.
Yeah.
But in doing so, I feel like all the sizzle and all the heat and all the fire that Sami and Kevin Owens had is cooled right off.
Yeah, definitely.
And this storyline is now going more to about the Bloodline and has nothing to do with these 2 guys that at WrestleMania ended the longest reign of tag team champion history. And now they're just there. And you throwing Riddle into this mix completely devalues it.
Yes.
Like oh my God. Throwing him in just it was like throwing ice cubes onto a fire. You know what I mean?
It's a spare part not needed.
It's more than a spare part not needed. It's something that now hinders.
Yes. Yeah. It would almost be better that they took him away for sure.
This is adding extra weight to your race car.
Yes. That's when you, instead of taking 5 pounds of lead ballast off, you're like, we're throwing 25 on. No,
we're throwing on a 20-pound bag of monkey crap.
Yes.
Into the back seat.
Basically. So drive around with that for 500 laps and see where that gets you. So finish of this thing, Riddle hits the Bro Derek, but Solo tags in and nails Riddle with the Samoan Spike for the 1-2 free count. And the speculation is that to ensure that the Usos and Solo got the win is the task that Roman tasked Solo with, that everybody's been trying to figure out over the past few weeks.
All right, sure, whatever.
So that's what I've seen online. That's what the fan theory is going into this.
One other thing I noticed was the crowd, although they had completely cooled off compared to what they had just seen, they were into KO and Sammy, but they were also into the Usos. So the only people that they were really booing was Solo, but they also liked him. And they kind of like saying bro, but I don't know if they actually really like Riddle. So, I mean, it was really, they got a crowd reaction, although tepid, not super hot. But yeah, this is such a cool down from the previous match.
Yes, it felt that way. Definitely felt that way for sure. Now we go to our.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying, now we go into our main event, our Mizaine events or whatever. I tried to be carny with that, and I just screwed up. So forget.
Are you okay over there?
I'm good.
Sure.
The egress is that way, I guess, which is the exit. So, Cody taking on Brock Lesnar in a one-on-one contest. Cody tries the hot start, but Brock overpowers him, and then it's Suplex City for a long period in this match, as this match ran. What was the runtime for this thing? 9 minutes and 40 seconds.
No way.
It was according to the Wikipedia timer, it's 9 minutes and 40 seconds.
That's it?
That's it?
Why did this feel like a 20-minute match?
It felt longer watching it, yes.
Yeah,
I was surprised when I saw that too.
That's crazy. Wow, so it felt long.
Now, using Wikipedia, maybe somebody might have been changing the time. I'm going to refresh the page, and it might have been 19 minutes and 40 seconds. As I refresh it again, nope, still 9:40. So that's the runtime that we're looking at right now.
All I know is the crowd loved doing the wow thing of Mr. Rhodes. And
that's a thing as of right now, yeah.
Given that this was only 9 minutes, good Lord. This should not have been the main event.
No. Well, that's why there was a double main event on this thing. So you had the
double main event.
Yeah,
right. Except one appears in the middle of the show. Which
some people will interpret, a card has a double main event, which means it has no main event. But
Well, just the fact that one of the main events happens in the middle of the show means it's not a main event.
Yeah. No, it didn't feel royal at all or anything, or it didn't have any prestige to it. So,
I mean, the match is good for what it is. He got the pin on Brock Lesnar as Brock Lesnar was trying to rip his arm out of his socket and give up his shoulders in order to get the 3, unfortunately.
Yes, Cody gets the surprise pin for the 1-2 free count as he got his ass kicked and was about to tap out in the Kimura, but Cody rolls up Brock for the 1-2 free count. Yes.
And he got Brock to bleed, which apparently is a big thing. You want to explain that?
Yeah. Brock got split open, I think, hard way off of something. I don't think that.
I think he took a turnbuckle to the face.
Yes. Yeah.
Like exposed turnbuckle. Yeah.
Yeah. And, so that maybe was a work. I'm not sure, but I mean.
So good moment for Cody and everything, and they got the crowd pop that it wanted, and they can now show this in the highlights, and he could say on the resume, I beat Brock Lesnar. Yeah. All that good stuff. But I mean, for a 9-minute match that was mostly intro.
Yeah.
This really shouldn't have been the main event compared to Bad Bunny and Damian Priest.
Yeah, there is speculation that the finals of this World Heavyweight Championship tournament thing is going to be Seth Rollins versus Cody Rhodes again in Jeddah. and then maybe they run it back at Money in the Bank, and whomever the Money in the Bank winner is might cash in on whomever walks out of Jeddah with the title.
Well, knowing that it's Cody Rhodes, he's going to win that match and then lose the Money in the Bank guy.
Yes, yeah,
because he has to be the underdog.
If you read between the lines, yes, exactly.
Yeah, he has to be the underdog that fights from the bottom and always gets screwed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But he's always resilient and he never gives up hope, even though he gets his ass whipped every time.
And the fact is this title that's being established doesn't feel like a top card title. It feels like a mid card title to me.
Yeah, it feels like an IC title.
It does, yeah. It's like, well, Raw doesn't have a champion. We can't strip Roman of the WWE Championship. That would be, dumb. So we're going to create this new one.
The whole setup is dumb.
It is.
But you know what? Let's go to the pay-per-view itself. Let's put the belty things aside for a second, shall we?
Sure. Okay. Yes, talk. Right. Well, let's give our ratings out of 10. And while you're giving your rating out of 10, I am going to go ahead and compile our results on Twitter.
Nice. So,
what are you going to give this thing out of 10 here, and then give us an
This is surprising, but
mm-hmm.
even though I felt like the card was set up out of order,
yeah,
I think that the event itself was still phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
I think the crowd made it everything. I think anybody who is a wrestling fan needs to see this if they haven't.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are not a wrestling fan, to give this a shot just to see like what hype is all about.
Mm-hmm.
This is a 9.0.
Wow. Okay. So
this is the show I want people to watch and I want people to experience and be like, why do you care about wrestling? This is why I care about wrestling, because Puerto Rico is the shit.
Mm-hmm. This was their Canadian Stampede pay-per-view, definitely. As I take a look at this and trying to talk and do things at the same time. But yeah, I would agree wholeheartedly with that as well. A 9 is fairly accurate and good. I am going to give it maybe slightly lower than you, an 8.5 out of 10. So it's still a little bit better, just because the U.S. title and the Bloodline versus Owens and Zayn and Riddle thing kind of just felt like usual fare, and everything else was out of the park, home run.
Yeah, you had a great opening match. Zelina got one of the moments of a lifetime,
mm-hmm.
and so did Bad Bunny and Damian Priest.
Mm-hmm.
And they carried it off spectacularly for an event that has no Roman. I mean, holy crap.
Yeah. Yeah. And did you like the mention of Roman still being the champion, and he still has a undefeated streak of 979 days or whatever it is going into the pay-per-view that he's not even booked on. That was kind of, that's
I didn't even
WWE,
notice that, to be honest.
I noticed it in this. I laughed. I was like, oh my God, that's funny. So our poll results will be up shortly. I am just going to save and upload. So while that's going on, I'll take the time out to say, if you would like to send in your final comments on the pay-per-view, go right ahead, because I'm going to read off some comments that we got. We have comments. We got whatever. Juggernaut 097 in answering our question. And again, this is our question. And I might carry this over to Twitter too. Whom do you think is a better worker, Bad Bunny or Logan Paul? And Juggernaut 097 says, well, Logan Paul, most definitely. So his vote again was Logan Paul. Here's his justification. He's had a lot more matches.
Okay.
That's the one line justification with that. So head to head, I think Logan's had four? And Bad Bunny has 3. So one more match. Not a lot more, but.
And they both have a Rumble.
And they both have a Rumble appearance, yes.
Okay.
And as you broke down earlier, one is more athletic than the other, but one is a pure babyface and one is a pure heel.
Well, one is a pure babyface, one's a pure heel, one's a pure athlete, one is a better storyteller.
Yes.
So it's like, when you use the word worker, it's like, that now gets interesting, because I'm like, to me, Bad Bunny's a better worker.
Mm-hmm.
Logan Paul's a better athlete. So if they could work a match it's tough. Like I said, they both need a veteran in there to call the match. But if there's a way that they could put on a match and do a little bit of magic, I mean, that's going to be money.
Exactly. He also adds, I also make wrestling content on my channel as well, and we should do a collaboration someday. Reach out. Here is our email, and this is for everybody. NitroManiacTV@gmail.com. Pitch me something, and I'll take a look at it for sure.
He opened up the lines.
The lines are open, yes, and that goes to everybody watching as well. Feel free to email NitroManiacTV@gmail.com with some ideas, and maybe some collaboration pitches and that stuff. But there it is. There's the email. That's the easiest way to get a hold of me because it goes to all my devices, so I can take a look at it as it comes in.
And he is a busy man, so you better get with it.
Very a busy man, definitely. It's a busy man doing busy man things. All right. Here's our poll. So the winner of the match of the night poll from last night's Backlash is the Bloodline Owen, Zayn, and Bro.
Get the fuck out of here.
Gets it with 40% of the vote.
No. Clear it off my screen. I don't want to see that shit. Get the fuck out of here with that. No.
Okay.
No. That is not right. It is incorrect. You 40% people are full of shit.
Well, the 20% that voted Priest and Bad Bunny are correct.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So there you go.
Told you democracy doesn't work. No,
well, I got to do it because, people are more inclined to interact with something when, you have questions.
Viewers.
Yes, exactly. So shout out to StreamYard again, keeping us on the air live with StreamYard. And we're going to make sure that this Undertaker rests in peace here, because they couldn't see the great StreamYard logo. There we go. Yay. Live with StreamYard Live Show. Go check them out, StreamYard.com. If you want to start streaming yourself, it's a great service. We use it here on everything, and it's amazing, amazing stuff.
And we've got 48 seconds there, Mr. KL.
We do. Okay. Well, where can they reach you on the social medias?
At TMLOUTAN. I want to smoke, and you people that are wrong, I want you to bring it.
Yes, give us your reasoning for sure. And at Kellen Nitro, right here. Just a quick shout out to that our dream card poll will be going up in the next 24 hours here on my Twitter at Kellen Nitro. If you missed the stream from yesterday, Mr.TL, our friend Craig P. Frazier, and myself created our our dream WWF/WWE cards, utilizing wrestlers from the modern era from 1984 on to now. And the only rule was they had to use their WWF/WWE gimmicks, and the show had to basically time out to either under or right at the 3-hour time limit. So,
yes, and we all follow the rules. And if you go see all three of our cards, you will see who made the best card, and you can vote for it. Let us know who won best dream card.
The poll will be up as of tomorrow morning in the Mountain Time Zone. Yes. So anytime after, we'll say 6 a.m. Mountain, feel free to go to my Twitter at Kellen Nitro, and you will be able to vote. Voting will go for 1 whole week. It will be in the pinned tweet at the top of my Twitter, and then we will reconvene later on in the month with the results.
Sounds good. Let's finish.
That's right. I'm Kellen Nitro. He's been Mr. TL. We'll talk to you guys next time here on Nitro Maniac TV's Wrestling Unlimited. Do take care.